Good morning, News Channel 3 family. This is Princess Janae Steverson. I'm currently in Allegan County, just outside of the courthouse. And maybe about 20 minutes ago, Terry Lebos walked back, and he is now beginning to start his 13-and-a-half-year prison sentence for the killing of 8 going on 9-month-old Lucia Seifried. It's a story that I have been covering for nearly a year. I will have updates for you all in our 5 and 6 o'clock segment, but as someone who just walked out of the courtroom, I can tell you that there was not a dry eye in there. And excuse me as I get emotional, because as I've been covering this case, I'd say that this is probably the first time where it looks like both sides agree in the fact that everyone loses. You have parents who have lost a child, and you have a wife, children, and grandchildren who have lost their husband, father, and grandfather. Matthew and Rebecca did give victim statements. A majority of it was talking about how they forgive Terry. A quote from Matthew was that, "I can hate the sin, but love the sinner." And per Matthew, he said, "I do love you as a child of God." Again, not a dry eye in there, including from the judge, who noted that this is really just a case where everyone loses. I'm going to have more updates for you at 5 and 6, but as I stated, this was a very emotional case, and as someone who's been on this case for a year, I can tell you that up until today, that courtroom has not been more packed than it was, to a point where there was only standing room, and so much so that sides from the defense and the prosecution had to wait outside because there was simply just no room for people to stand or sit in there. It started about 15 minutes late, just from the setting being so emotional and people trying to gather themselves, and just watching the family obviously heartbroken, the family of Terry Lebos also very heartbroken. As soon as he was taken away by officials, he turned around and mouthed to his wife, "I love you." And now everyone is slowly pulling out of the parking lot, going home. And as you can see, it's a very rainy and gloomy day, which is exactly how it felt inside that courtroom. So you guys just tune in for our 5 and 6 o'clock segment, and I will make sure to give you all the details of what happened inside. But just wanted to give you that update that he has officially begun his 13-and-a-half-year sentence. And for those of you who didn't know, who have not been on my previous coverage, just know that originally this is a case that would have gone to trial, where Terry was most likely going to face 30 plus years in prison. But per the family, and trying to take into consideration that he also has a family that is going to miss out on him, they decided to go for the minimum sentence in this case, which was 13-and-a-half-years. And with Terry's age, that will let him out at the age of 70. The Seifrieds did take to the stand for their victim impact statement to make note that they are hopeful that after he serves his 13-and-a-half-year sentence, he will be able to rebuild the relationship that is essentially now going to have to take a decades-long pause from his wife, from his children, and from his grandchildren. So again, that is my update for now on the case, and I will have more for you in our 5 and 6 o'clock segment.